Hello, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to the neighborhood. It's a very special episode because we have the one and only Lokal with us here today. Lokal, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. It's really good to see you out here, man. What brought you to the neighborhood?
Oh, this is where I reside, so I'm glad to be here always.
I think this is a very unique episode, like every other episode, but this one specifically because Lokal, near and dear to my heart, because he is I'm related to Lokal.
To mine too.
Oh yeah, he related to you?
Oh yeah.
Damn, we got the same relative, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Lokal, that's my elder brother.
Wow.
Lokal.
That's really cool. And Lokal happens to be my cousin too.
I like to begin by asking Lokal a very personal question. Why is Link your favorite player in Smash Brothers, Lokal? Link from Super Smash Bros, y'all. What makes you pick Link out of all the characters? What about Link?
Well, I like the way Link moves. For one, he's a very saucy swordsman, in my opinion. Also, quite multifaceted. He can do all types of moves. He doesn't just have the sword. The sword moves are the coolest out of all the swordsmen in the game.
Yeah.
And he also has some bombs to throw at you. He has a bow and arrow, a flaming bow and arrow at that, because it's young Link that I use.
It's quite hard to dodge that one arrow too.
Exactly, there's no about the arrow. I like the clothes, I like the outfit changes.
You have some pretty clean fits.
Out of every character I play with, he's definitely the most fun to play with. And I play games to have fun. With that being the goal, Young Link is a perfect fit for me.
That's cool, that's cool.
That definitely is cool, like you mentioned, you know, his sauciness. Cause thinking about it now,
Think about it.
yeah, the man definitely get some style, dad.
Think about it.
The man definitely get some style.
Yeah, I think it's there for sure. Even that bad jump, kick vibe, he twists around you.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I like this smooth, for sure.
Spin around, slice up in the air, send you flying.
Yeah,
What a character be
The only
doing
move
that.
that ain't too saucy is drop
The
down.
jump, it ain't too saucy, but think about the damage that move to do.
Ain't I for sure.
I send you flying.
I like that kid. But I have to hit it.
That's the moves I get the most kills with, so it shows that even the moves that people predict can still tarnish guys.
Do that.
I wanted to ask about the correlation between, you know, your character selection and Lokal in real life. Like, do you see any, maybe it can be subconscious, but do you see any connection between the people that you choose in games and your character in real life?
Not necessarily. It's really because I think that's the coolest character. Because other characters in Smash Bros. Also do a bunch of different things. It's what he does is particularly cool looking to see. With him being the character I'm controlling, I like to see his moves. He might not even be the strongest, but he's the most fun to play with, as I said. I see what you mean, how Link has a lot going on. And I think Lokal as an artist has a lot going on as well. So that connection definitely could be drawn.
I was just gonna say that I feel like how you walk in here smelling is how Link would have walked in out smelling. You smell spectacular.
Much appreciated. As an artist, I don't identify with just one genre as Lokal. So I think sticking to one genre limits me. It limits my music, and I don't want to do that. So that's what I mean by a lot going on. The same way Link doesn't limit himself to a sword, Lokal doesn't limit himself to a genre. And even within genres, different styles within that genre, different ways of doing it, different approaches, adding elements that don't even belong in music, such as, you know, poetry, comedy, all that other kind of things to add to it that I feel like adding to it. I do so because it's my song. I make the rules. Link is his match, you know, it's his battle. He does what he wants.
Did he fight the next? Yes,
He was still doing things.
How to use Ness. How to use Ness. All right. Kali, who do you use when you play Smash?
I play with Ike.
Ike. Yeah, you know it. Them jokey boys, you know, you mess with them.
How long do you think you've been making music?
I've been making music since I was a kid, really. I think the first song I made was around 9, back when I was doing the calypso shows. The first song was called Chicken. A very simple song, but it's near
heard
and
that
dear to my
song?
heart because I wrote it myself.
Ah,
I'm proud of it.
You got one Tory?
Nah, I never won, but I definitely came like first runner-up for that one.
That sounds like the chicken. I want some chicken.
I like it when they barbecue. I
Like it when they hot dog.
So yeah, I was proud of my first tune. And then, American music just kind of followed me over the years. But as for me officially making music and dropping it on more platforms for other people to enjoy, that was, I'd say, in senior year of college. That's when I started putting things on SoundCloud. And then,
Senior year?
yeah, and then,
That was later than I thought it was.
Yeah, I was there and I thought too.
Yeah,
He's 2 years older than us.
when things got to other platforms was after college around in 2018.
It's important to note that you are an artist besides just music, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I think it seems here that when your artistry, it started somewhere else, and I guess it just kind of grew into doing music, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think where me being an artist began was with drawing. Just something I used to do. There's music, there's drawing, there's painting, there's making videos, there's comedy, there's poetry, there's
Sounds like it's a lot.
it's another area where I do not limit myself. Any area where I feel like I could branch out
Into.
as an artist,
Yeah.
I simply adopt it.
That's real, dog.
Yeah, especially if I feel like I'm good at it. If I attempt it, then I'm some trash, and I don't feel it, I don't enjoy it, and I feel like I'm not producing anything worth putting out there. I'm not gonna just add it to my repertoire just to say, no, I'm an all-around artist. I'm gonna do it all. No, I have to have some type of proficiency in that specific craft to add it to myself.
How would you say art is a testament of your character?
Think about it right now.
Well, I think art should be a testament to anybody's character. If you're not letting you shine through your art, it's not real art. I'll tell you that right now. And that's the difference between people who just like to be called artists. Is I do art, therefore I'm an artist. People could listen to it or experience it and not feel anything uniquely you in it, and would have a hard time classifying it as art.
You know, I think it just says about you though that you rather than other people, you prefer quality. You like to have something that's a true representation, because it's easy to, like you said, put out something that doesn't show your character and just put it out. But you prefer to have something that's like quality.
Real.
Okay, real.
Real is the main aspect of it. If it's real, it comes from somewhere real and it's produced from somewhere real, it's going to be quality. That's what makes quality art. Realness, authenticity, stuff like that.
How is that realness translated into performances? Do you perform often, or do you have any experience performing?
I do, yeah. I've been performing most of my life. Now, only as I got older, I started to take it seriously. Like when I used to be forced to perform from my mom, or me and my mom just throwing me into things. Hey, we modeling this weekend, we singing this weekend, doing a dance performance. Yeah, she was all about us, expanding our horizons, especially artistically. You never know what you meant to be doing unless you try them out. So one thing I really always appreciated about her and my upbringing, and as I got older and was no longer forced to be doing those kind of things, I realized I chose it for myself. It was as simple as, like, in high school, I remember my first time really, say we would have a talent show or something. We would come to the classroom, it was an English classroom, and she was like, we need some performers for the talent show. Anybody would like to do it? I remember raising my hand for that. And I was like, why did I do that? It sounds like a scary thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, nobody forced me to do it, but I chose to. And it was simply because I think that there was, I knew I had the most experience doing so.
Yeah.
I've been on stage for a long time. If they need performers, it's an area of need that I most likely could fulfill. I don't know what I'm gonna perform, I don't know what I'm gonna sing. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up there and do something because,
That's because.
yeah, because why not? And nobody else stepping up to the plate.
You know, acting in spite of fear. You know what I mean? Just because you're scared of doing something, don't like that. That's not a reason for you not to do something because you're scared. If anything, that's all the more reason to do the something. You know what I mean?
I'd say so.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes fear is a beacon, a lighthouse to follow you. Like you feel a lot of fear towards doing things, probably because you should do it. Fear is something to be conquered within it leads you to your greater self, I believe. So yeah, that was I remember feeling afraid to jump into these kind of things every time actually, but fear is a matter of perspective.
What's your perception of fear?
Well, I personally believe that fear and excitement are exactly the same thing. That's what I meant by a matter of perspective. Because people could be like, I'm nervous, and then go up there and give a performance of a lifetime that the audience goes crazy for. Like, was you really nervous? Or was you just translating that fear you had as that nervousness? When it was really excitement to do a thing that you've probably been practicing for years, know exactly how to do it, prepared for it, stuff like that. So, and that's like a more detailed part of conquering that thing that's trying to stop you from doing the thing that you want to do. See it as excitement, more of what it is, and not the negative aspect of it. The fear.
It's just like, is a glass half empty or is it half full? You know what I mean?
Man, it's a cup of water, man.
Wow. Man, just blow my mind with that one. Man, just blow my mind with that.
Respect, bro. I'm here speechless. I have no This one got it all figured out. No, nothing to see here.
I
Just
do not have it all
Lokal.
figured out.
Just look out here, everybody.
Oh yeah, man.
Check him out.
He's talking about.
So what's your take on reading? How would you say it has benefited your life?
Well, reading is definitely a great thing to do that I stand by, because soaking in information in that kind of manner is something that's kind of been dying out over the years with the advancement of technology, internet and stuff. Anything you want to read about is an audiobook. There's a video on YouTube that summarizes it in 5 minutes. For someone to decide to take the time to read the same book that you could get in those quicker ways, there's a certain extra benefit you get from downloading it into your software in that manner. Soaks in more efficiently and carries with you longer, I feel like. Yeah, and it's also practice for commitment towards things. It's more of a long-term commitment than just a short video. Like, so especially if you're reading something that you care about, I would suggest taking it in that way. It's more yours.
Is there any books that you suggest or recommend more so?
Generally just recommend books that you find personal interest in, things that you could gain from, whether entertainment-wise or self-improvement-wise, or just any knowledge you want to take in. Because one thing I didn't like about school is that they forced certain books on you, books that I personally didn't give any shits about. So I definitely never read those, but once I found books that I wanted to read, I found that reading was a very pleasurable experience that more people should take part in. So jump into a bookstore, find whatever pops out of the shelf to you, read the back of it, even if the cover you like, read the summary, and take it home, and you will definitely gain something from it, for sure. I think everything really boils down to human nature. The more you know about human nature, the better off you'd be as a human out here in nature. You see what I'm saying?
Shit, right on these bars,
Yeah,
bro.
man, we didn't think about that.
Get these down, cuz.
The whole human nature thing.
Yeah.
I kind of connected back to class because that's ultimately what we'd be explaining. What we're ultimately trying to figure out is nature. It's the nature of things. And that becomes interrupted when we're not following or abiding by nature. We're following what man is saying and what people are telling us rather than actually organizing and dissecting what's around us. You know what I mean? As it comes. So that's nature, as it comes. Connect that to upper class would be serious. Like Lokal just gave us some key insight to our direction.
Yeah, form of a class in terms of that's what we're out
that's
here
a deeper
doing.
platform.
Yeah.
Human nature. Really, name of the games is explaining human nature, how to go about conquering human nature and making the best of human nature one at a time. Because our minds are one at a time. That's our nature. We're working on the nature of humans by explaining it first.
Yeah, making
That's how we
weird.
cultivate a healthier lifestyle.
Wow,
You explain
yeah,
it.
bro. That's serious.
Dude, I remember there was a guy on campus who was doing comedy. I just admired the guy for the bravery. I think comedy is definitely the hardest art form out there. And
You gotta
could be
see
a funny
through your
guy.
jokes,
You could have
you
been
know.
a funny guy your whole life. Or being funny on purpose in front of people staring at you, blankly waiting for you to be funny, is highly difficult.
You think you got better at that though?
Yeah. You get better with that with practice for sure. I feel like I did. But mastered, for sure not. Nah, it's a growth process. Each time you step up there, it's almost scarier than the last.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you tell us a joke right now?
Oh my god. Remember, I'm so deep. You want to
Yeah, see, that's why that's not even the kind of comedy I do, just to avoid that even.
coming up in a question.
You see? I let people know that. No, that's not my kind of joke. I tell a story and hopefully it's funny. Might be a joke or two in there.
Hey, would you say tough crowd?
Huh? Well, I said that live for sure. That's always a backup joke.
So have you performed live at events?
I've done comedy live.
I know
for
get
sure.
boo off stage
I
many
got booed
times.
off stage several times.
Oh my
I've seen my own
god.
friends in the crowd.
Oh
So booing is a contagious thing. It's like, yo,
Oh, I
somebody
know.
boo next to you. It's like, oh, that's what we doing. Ah!
Contagious thing
'cause
for
it's
sure.
It's just a fun thing to do at a time, you know.
It's
I'm
like
glad
you
I'm not up
from
there. Let me play
afar.
this guy.
Let's talk about your YouTube videos more in terms of like, you seem like you did just doing everything by yourself behind the camera and all these things. Like, what's that experience making a video like?
It's very fun.
Very fun?
Yeah.
You get
I like to act.
yeah.
So acting probably like when I was going into junior high school, and I was like, this is a lot of fun. That's another thing I was like, this is what girls do, dressing up on stage, acting a part. I was like, this ain't no man thing to do. But if I was later on being honest with myself, like, that is a very fun artistic outlet, and I will keep it forever. So, and I was like, I want to make videos. I don't want to have to rely on a team. I don't need a camera person. I can hold my camera myself. I don't need another actor. I could be the other actor. You know. As again, I don't like to limit myself in any areas. So I started doing that, and just the fun of it all kept me going with it, and the fact that other people enjoyed my videos for sure kept me going with it. I feel like masculinity should be, at least personally, defined by every man. I think society paints what masculinity is. It has been for as long as I've been around, and I think it dulls the male perspective and embodiment just throughout life. I think a lot of men are afraid to be themselves because of what they believe masculinity to be, and it is not the right way to go. It goes back to being authentic, being your genuine self. If you find it real and a part of you and you letting it shine, that's you being masculine. That's you being a real man. You feel me? No matter what it looks like to others, no matter how people will roast you. Yeah, that's masculinity is a lot more than it's portrayed to be.
So it's a subjective thing more so than an objective.
Yeah, definitely subjective, and that's what I think a lot of people should understand, and something I'm trying to help display through example.
So if that's the case, right, where does femininity come into the picture? Because so if a man does something, right, if a male does something and that seems vulnerable, right, is that considered masculinity, or can he be feminine in like femininity in that sense? What I'm trying to say.
Difficult. You phrase that kind of
Can you?
hard,
right,
but-
right,
Yeah, it was
help me out.
definitely.
What it is that he's saying that there should be a yin and yang between masculinity and femininity. So to not have masculinity defined, it kind of takes away the yin and
Kind
yang.
of blurs that.
It blurs the yin and yang.
Yeah, because then it's like saying, a male, he could do something, he can do something, it will just be considered masculine. But a male can do something that's feminine and it's okay. You know what I mean? It's the same concept. You know what I mean? Femininity, we should all be okay with doing something that seems feminine. But then, before we can say seems feminine, we need to understand what is femininity, what is masculinity.
What's the boundaries on this?
Yeah.
What Lokal was saying is that boundary
That is what I'm saying.
is the problem.
The boundary is the problem. The blur is meant to be blurred. Like there's no the fact that
Also, it still goes back to a subjective
it goes back to the thing. It
Yeah.
goes back to the same thing.
definitely
You
goes
define
back.
what masculinity is.
And you also define what
And you also
femininity
yeah.
is. For sure.
That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, let that be blurred.
That's what Lokal is saying. Masculinity is an actual illusion. Femininity is an actual illusion. These are illusions painted for us by society. So, what they speak of when they say masculinity and femininity is the concept of what a particular sex should behave like. It's a concept. It's an illusion. It's not real unless we make it real. It's an idea almost. Well, my father was like this, so maybe that's masculine. You don't act like my father, so you're not masculine.
Then you're feminine.
Then you're feminine to me. There's only two now, so you gotta be one or the other. But that's where the two comes in. The boat that everyone lacks. You know what I mean? The boat is the blur.
Started off as just drawing, and then I wanted to add some color to it, and then I started to paint. Painting is cool. It's like a step further. Because with drawing, I started off with just drawing whatever I want. Then I started to challenge myself and draw characters and stuff from shows that I like. Then I started to draw real animals and to landscapes. I always reach a point where something gets too easy and you gotta level up. Always gotta level up, keep growing, especially in the craft that you claim to love. Because part of that is the growth that you get from it as you keep going. And painting, you gotta draw first and then paint. So
When you paint, how is it similar to the process of when you write a song?
well, because it's an exploration. You start off with an idea of what you want, sometimes even, and then you start and you just go. Sometimes at the end it will turn out exactly how you want it. Sometimes not so much, but either way, the journey towards you creating that thing that you feel called to create is what it's all about. Is the joy of it. Is where you disappear. Is where
Yeah.
Wait, so when you came to this interview, were you excited or fearful?
Well, I see them both as the same. I was definitely, admittedly, I was caught up in the fear aspect of it. Felt like I wasn't ready for an interview. I don't like to talk about myself often. I'm often afraid of not coming off as my truest version of myself. I feel like there's always a time I could be more in tip-top shape. You know, you never know. So and this being my first interview, I was definitely caught up on that weaker perspective.
You know? I feel as if you're one of those people that you spoke of earlier. You were saying that some people, they go on stage and they say that they're nervous even though they're fully prepared for what they're about to do. And they say that they're nervous when in truth what they feel is excitement. Excitement to display what they've been working on for so long. And I think from this interview I can see that you were more so excited than fearful. And I think your responses reflect how excited you were. You were all well prepared, thought out responses to questions you never even got. So,
Thanks, man. That means a lot.
Lokal, it was a pleasure having you.
Pleasure being here.
Is there anything you'd like to say as we wrap up today's conversation? Would you like to say anything specific to your listening audience and your newfound fans?
Well, if you'd like to follow or subscribe to the YouTube channel, to thank Upper Class OG for having me on this interview. This is my very first real interview, and I think it went well. And I really was excited to do it. You guys are a whole bunch of upstanding individuals. I'm honored to be chosen to be interviewed here. So Thank you all for that.
It's our pleasure, sir. Thank you, man.
Hey yo, God, let's make a deal. Do you got a sec? Let me tell you how I feel. I just wanna talk about something that's.
I spent a lot of time looking out the hotel windows, seeing the trees concave when that Virgin Island wind blows. I know the bus routes inside out. St. Croix never changes. I know my way about.
And I find you don't know how hard I've been searching. Oh yes you do, cause that's what you do. You just be coolin' and clocking my moves. But yo, that's my point. You know me better than everybody in this joint. Matter of fact, bro, hold my joint, cause you